Hi, and welcome to this special edition of hymn singing from the Innerleven Gospel Hall. Now, because it's the Sunday before Christmas, we'll be singing some carols this evening, but we'll also be singing it as part of or playing these as part of the meeting this evening. So we're aiming to go live on YouTube and Facebook from around 6:20, and if you're planning on joining the meeting, I suggest you wait for that and tune into that. Now, although we'll be putting the words up on the screen, I'm conscious that they probably won't come out very well on video. So we will be posting this separately, or we are posting this separately anyway, and you can listen to that at your leisure. Now, our first carol this evening is Joy to the World. Next, a well-loved and well-known Christmas carol. Once in Royal David City stood a lowly cattle shed where a mother laid her baby in a manger for his bed. He came down to earth from heaven, who is God and Lord of all, and his shelter was a stable and his cradle was a stall.
Where a mother laid
perhaps a less well-known one now. This is thou who wast rich beyond all splendour, all for love's sake becamest poor. Thrones for a manger did surrender, sapphire-paved courts for stable floor. We're exploring the wonder of the incarnation this evening, God becoming flesh, God becoming man, the Lord Jesus coming down to be born as a baby in Bethlehem. The one who was rich for our sakes became poor. With this next one, we thought we would try something different, and where the usual singers are going to be joined by others from the assembly in the Innerleven Gospel Hall. Now, it's the first time we've tried putting together a virtual choir, and we'll have to see how successful we think it is, and maybe we'll try it again in the future. This one, O come all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant, O come ye to Bethlehem. But don't worry, we didn't get all together to sing this. We did do it separately, and it was put together.
O come, all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant, O come ye to Bethlehem.
little town of Bethlehem, how still we see thee lie. The second verse goes, how silently the wondrous gift is given. So God imparts to human hearts the blessings of his heaven. No ear may hear his coming, but in this world of sin, where meek souls will receive him, still the dear Christ enters in. John's Gospel says this, he was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not. He came unto his own, and his own received him not. Yet to all who received him, to them gave he the power to become the sons of God, even to those that believe on his name, which were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. Where meek souls will receive him, still the dear Christ enters in. This next one explores the fact that when the Lord Jesus came, there was no room for him, no room for them in the inn. Mary brought forth her firstborn son and wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger because there was no room for them in the inn. And this asks the question, today he's seeking a place in your heart. Will you still say to him, no room?
Today is seeking a place
Another favourite carol this: Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. And then finally this evening, once again, we're joined by others for the second of the virtual choir pieces. Hark, the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Well, thanks again for joining with us for this time of carol singing. Once again, I'd like to say that if you're listening to this before the meeting this evening, we're aiming to go live from around about 6:20 this evening. That is the 20th of December 2020. That's on both Facebook Live and on YouTube. And all that remains is for me, on behalf of the believers, the Christians meeting at Innerleven Gospel Hall, to wish you all a very happy and blessed Christmas. And until next time, may God bless you all.